Hello and welcome to the Jimmy Carter National Historical Park's 2021 President's Day Contest Award Ceremony and Celebration. My name is Jacob Ross and I am the lead ranger at the park. To start things off, President Mrs. Carter sent a message for me to read to you all. Rosalind and I would like to welcome you to the Jimmy Carter National Historical Park President's Day celebration. On January 20th, 1977, I spoke these words during my inauguration address. The American dream endures. We must once again have full faith in our country and in one another. I believe America can be better. We can be even stronger than before. We have already found a high degree of personal liberty, and we are now struggling to enhance equality of opportunity. Our commitment to human rights must be absolute, our laws fair, our national beauty preserved. The powerful must not persecute the weak, and human dignity must be enhanced. So together, in a spirit of individual sacrifice for the common good, we must simply do our best. Today, as we honor achievements of the present and reflect on accomplishments of the past, I ask that you all remember the importance of peace, human rights, love for one another, and the principles that never change in our lives. Now, as President Carter said, let's honor those who have done great work this year in their President's Day contest projects. This year's contest theme was A Journey of Excellence, the Extraordinary Life of President Jimmy Carter. We had a high number of entries this year, and even had entries from as far away as India. So let's hear from the winners themselves. We give awards to the best entries in the categories of poems, art, and essays from each age group, and an award for the best class submission.
Jimmy Carter was born in 1924 in Plains, Georgia. Mary Rosalind Smith, Mission for the World Peace, years of volunteer work. Called the Meeting for Peace, awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, ran for president in 1977, took the victory, equal rights for all, racial discrimination needed to end.
Hello, my name is Misha Patel and I'm from Georgia. I'm in 4th grade at Big Creek Elementary School. It's an honor to be part of the celebration of the extraordinary achievements of former President Jimmy Carter. Here is my poem. Jimmy Carter, humanitarian, philanthropist, loving, hardworking, amazing, fought for human rights, hero.
Hello, my name is Mariah Register, and I currently live in Albany, Georgia. I am in the 7th grade, and I recently attend Mary Akes Middle School of Medical Arts. And today I will read my poem that I wrote, called Legend. We must first think about the meaning of a legend. A legend is a traditional story or sometimes popularity, regarded as historical but original. When I think of a legend that is original, I think of Jimmy Carter, our 39th president. First in the family to graduate from high school. No matter what others thought, Mr. Carter did not focus on being cool, even though they were still segregating schools. His 2 best friends were black. He never thought to watch his back. Mr. Carter's most influential people that helped him grow were also people of color. Carter didn't see color. His mom even helped as a nurse to help women of color. Carter focused on the civil rights movement. Carter knew what was right. He fought for rights and humanity. Carter, being a white man, faces segregation. He was the only white man that didn't join the White Citizens Council. Later, Carter had to change the way he faced the council by staying away from the civil rights group, not being seen with blacks, and turning his head to things he knew was wrong. pushing through and being strong still got him the votes he needed to win his race. Carter the activist is still working today in a major way, winning a Nobel Prize in 2002. He will always be remembered and valued as a prize to our nation. To this day, fighting to get along with other nations. As frustrating as it can be, Carter, as we see, is still striving for change, or the American people. He fights for equality. He fights for humanity. He is a man of power. He is a man of strength. He is a man of knowledge. Carter is a legend which is considered original or genuine. Born October 1st, 1924. Mr. Jimmy Carter, from a boy into a strong man, long a legend.
Hi, I'm Grady Tumlin, and I am a second grader from Due West Elementary School. And I did an art piece about President Carter and his wife Rosalind were volunteering for Habitat for Humanity. And as you can see, I wrote some words down of what he is, and what he's done for us. So, I wrote, music loving man. He loves music. So, I just wanted to jot that down. Also, I wrote guinea worm, and that is a parasite in Africa that you know, it's hurting very many people, and it comes from drinking water. But so President Carter actually helped you know, help them, and he taught them how to filter their water to make them have clean water. Also, yeah, last year, people only got 27 cases of it, so that was really good. Also, I wrote author. He is an author. He's wrote many books. I don't know how many, but I know he has wrote some books, and I actually have read his book, Little Baby Snooglefleeger, and that was a pretty good book. But also I did solar panels because he was the first president to put solar panels in his in the White House, and also in his hometown in Plains, Georgia. But I did. My title is Jimmy Carter Always Helping, because he reminds us to help no matter how old we are or young we are. So, bye.
Hey, my name is Rylan Ward, and I live in Runner Robins, Georgia. I'm in 4th grade and at Langston Elementary School. I entered the Jimmy Carter drawing contest in art class. In the drawing, I drew Jimmy Carter with a big smile. I showed big teeth, and I drew a dove because it represents the peace signs and the 96 of the age. And then I drew the flag because he was the president of the United States. And I drew a faith book because he reads devotional and he wrote it. And I drew the anchor to represent he was in the Navy. And also, did you know he was a peanut farmer? So I drew a peanut on his tie, and he has blue eyes, and I drew that. Thanks for watching the Jimmy Carter.
Hi, I'm Hannah Mock. I'm in the 8th grade, and I'm 13 years old. I live in McDonough, Georgia, and this is my Jimmy Carter National History Day project. In the very center, we have a portrait I have drawn of him. And on his coat, you can see little badges that indicate his accomplishments in life. So right here we have the Nobel Peace Prize. Over here we have the Navy badge, the American flag, little drawing of Georgia, and my favorite part personally is the peanut tie. right here, these little squares, they're just little indications like father, member of the Navy, president, where he was from, Plains, Georgia, and a peanut farmer. Another thing that I really like about this, and I had a super fun time drawing this, by the way, is the quote that I did on the outside. It's one of my favorite Jimmy Carter quotes. It reads, high moral and ethical standards are essential, and they don't change from one job to another, or from one level of authority to another. Honesty, truthfulness, integrity, and selfishness, these are always there. And whenever a leader violates these basic principles through arrogance or through ignorance, there's a degradation of duty. Jimmy Carter. Thank you. I hope you liked this. I had a fun time drawing this, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
Hey there, I'm Zidan Castellino from Mumbai City in India. I'm Olive of 12 years old and I'm in grade 7th. And today I'd like to show you my winning drawing for the Jimmy Carter National Historic Park President's Day Art Contest. So over here I've shown the Not Just Peanuts, the famous slogan of the Carter Mondale 76 campaign. At the back, as you can see, there are trees and this huge mountain depicting the Alaska Lands Bill passed during the Carter presidency. Right down here, as you can see, are the solar panels on my roof, saying that President Carter started the international movement for solar panels by himself putting solar panels on the White House roof. Over here, Education for All, starting the Department of Education. And yes, with education, I've given an A+ for President Carter. Over here, it says Haribo Jew, it's time to call for peace. President Carter laying the groundwork for the Egypt and Israeli relations. Over here, My Affordable Healthcare. The mission of peace, President Carter's always approach for peace. And here, the Nobel Peace Prize. God is in my heart, President Carter's approach for faith. And a nice big old Georgian hair over there, commemorating President Carter's Georgian heritage. And last but not least, the famous peanuts, which, well, you can find in Plains. And President Carter's nickname, the Peanut Farmer. Well, thanks so much. I hope you have a nice day. Until then, God bless Jimmy Carter.
This winning piece of art was submitted by Elliot Wagner Smith. He is a 12th grader at Bethesda Chevy Chase High School. The artwork shows 9 blocks showing different scenes from President Carter's presidency and post-presidency legacy, including the Panama Canal, establishing relations with China, the United States energy crisis, Jimmy Carter installing solar panels on the White House roof, the Camp David Accord negotiations, Jimmy Carter and civil rights, Jimmy Carter with a group of students, and Jimmy Carter helping build homes with Habitat for Humanity. In the center of the page, cursive script reads, Jimmy Carter's Legacy, on top of a green outline of the state of Georgia next to a fresh Georgia peach.
Hi, I'm Maribel Sobrace, and I'm from Marietta, Georgia. I'm from Duas Elementary School, and I'm from 2nd grade. This is my Jimmy Carter essay report. This is a picture of Jimmy Carter on the front cover. This is a picture of his farm in Plains, Georgia. Jimmy Carter lives in archery in Plains, Georgia. He had a big farm and had tons of pets. One Christmas, there was a horse in his front yard. He named it Lady Lee. This is a picture of him riding on Lady Lee. Navy. After college, he worked in the Navy and he drove a submarine. He loved being in the Navy, but when his father died, he had to go back to his family farm to help. And this is a picture of his submarine. Governor of Georgia. Jimmy Carter ran for governor in 1966, and he lost, but in 1970 he won. He stopped in 1975. And this is a picture of Georgia, and that is where Atlanta is. President of the USA. Jimmy Carter was president in 1977. He did many cool things to help the USA. He stopped in 1981. Peacekeeper. Right after Jimmy Carter was president, he was a peacekeeper. Jimmy Carter believed a better life. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. These are words you need to know to become a peacekeeper. Freedom, kind, inspire, peace, love, God, live, and life. I hope you enjoy my Jimmy Carter essay report. Bye!
Hi, I'm Grace Hall, and I live in Cumming, Georgia. I am a 3rd grade student at Hawk Creek Elementary School, and today I'm going to be reading my essay. The Legacy Like a Flowing River. Former President Jimmy Carter is building homes with Habitat for Humanity in Nashville today after falling out of his home over the weekend, ending up with 14 stitches in his forehead and a black eye. Nothing keeps Jimmy Carter down. Oh my goodness, at the age of 95, Jimmy Carter got 14 stitches and a black eye, but he still went to Habitat for Humanity. Now that's what I call perseverance. I was so shocked when I watched this on YouTube. This news video was filmed on October 8th, 2019 on MSNBC News, which means he is currently 96 years old, and he served at Habitat for Humanity for almost 40 years. Why did Jimmy Carter serve for such an organization, even though he was badly hurt at this old age? I was very curious about this, and the anchor woman had the same question for Jimmy Carter. So she asked him, I think it is the best way to put my Christian place into actual practice, answered Jimmy Carter. After hearing the interview, I was impressed that Jimmy Carter didn't just claim that he served others or had faith. He actually put this into action. I think good leaders are humble people and would rather serve the community than have the community serve them. So Jimmy Carter is a great leader and role model for me. I want to be a good leader like Jimmy Carter and follow in his footsteps. But where can I start? I thought. Let's start small. I donated tuna cans to Meals by Grace not too long ago. I can also save my allowance and donate regularly. Another way to serve other people is to give my friends surprise birthday presents, as I can't see my friends too often due to COVID-19. You know what? My brother Nathan started the Habitat for Humanity Club at South Forsyth High School last year with his friends. He is one of the founders. So like Jimmy Carter, Nathan put his faith and service into action. Soon enough, I'll be able to join Habitat for Humanity when I go to high school. I believe that I can put my faith and service into action like Jimmy Carter did. I believe that not only for me, but for many others, I want to create a legacy like a flowing river. Thank you for watching. Bye!
My name is Joseph Skinner, and I'm in the 8th grade in Early County Middle School, Blakely, Georgia. This is the extraordinary journey of Jimmy Carter. Every person travels throughout life from year to year that he is born and beyond. That travel can have a positive or negative impact on himself and others. Jimmy Carter has an extremely remarkable journey. How could a simple farm boy from rural Georgia become President of the United States? By believing in God, persevering, social consciousness, and a sense of urgency to make the world a better place. James Earl Carter Jr. was born in Plains, Georgia in 1924. His parents were working-class people, but each was interested in helping their community, state, and the world either through political or humanitarian means. His family was aware of the need for equal rights for all Americans and basic human rights for all people in the world. Jimmy, as he was called, was educated in the local Sumter County schools and attended college in Americus and the Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta. He was accepted to attend the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, where he finished and went into the Navy. However, his father's death brought him back home to run the family business. Carter's upbringing came into play as Jimmy became involved in local and state government. One of his beliefs was to give more opportunities to blacks and women. In 1974, Carter announced his candidacy for president. In 1976, Carter became the 39th president of the United States. Carter, along with his wife Rosalind, wanted to emphasize that he was a man of the people. Unfortunately, Congress was not all of the ambitious programs of social, administrative, and economic reevaluations that Carter hoped to be part of his legacy. Carter wanted opportunities for jobs, education, and housing to be available to all, no matter their race or gender. Carter ran again in 1980, but lost to Ronald Reagan. His loss would have been seen as a negative, but it opened up another opportunity for his journey to continue in a different direction. Carter worked tirelessly to help women and minorities. Traveling throughout the world, Carter used his knowledge and activism to try to better the lives of many people. One of his main focuses was to work with the Habitat for Humanity in their effort to build houses for needy families. His quest for human rights earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. One of his extraordinary travels, Carter was in a positive force in his efforts for human rights and equality. He is still on his journey as he continues to contribute world affairs through the effort of the Carter Center in Atlanta. Georgia Southwestern University has received much support from the Carters. His journey took him from a rural farm boy to the presidency.
Hi, my name is Travis Turan. I'm a freshman from Jasper County High School, and this is my essay on President Jimmy Carter. A Journey of Excellence, the Extraordinary Life of Jimmy Carter. As President of the United States, it is common to have some accomplishments, but President Carter's happened to be pretty impressive. From peanut farmer to president, this is the story of President Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, born James Earl Carter, was the 39th President of the United States. He served in the Navy for 7 years, and as a parent, he was part of the Board of Education. He ran for Senate and managed to win in the Democratic primary and was elected to the Georgia State Senate. After that, Carter was a governor. Then he was elected president in 1976. President Carter even used his abilities as chief diplomat to get 2 world leaders to meet and establish peace in the Middle East. Born in Plains, Georgia, Carter was the eldest of 4 children. His mother, Lillian Carter, was a nurse, and his father, James Earl Carter Sr., was a peanut farmer. Growing up, Carter was a part of the Future Farmers of America, which is not too surprising knowing that his father is a farmer. Carter later said that the first elected office I've ever held was Secretary of the Plains chapter of the Future Farmers of America. After graduating, Carter attended Georgia Southwestern College, but later transferred to Georgia Tech. Sometime after that, he got accepted into the Naval Academy in Annapolis. After graduating from the Naval Academy, Carter served in the Navy for 7 years on a submarine. When his father passed away, he went back to his family's peanut farm. His wife, Rosalind Carter, found it hard to adjust without the financial security that is provided by the military. Following that, he managed to become a chairman on his local Board of Education. Mr. Carter managed to make his farm a success by 1956. He started involving himself in the community and serving on local boards for libraries and hospitals. Later on, he ran for state senate and managed to win the election. Sometime after that, Mr. Carter ran for president. In 1976, Carter was elected 39th President of the United States. His presidential run was an eventful one. When the United States came to aid Israel, countries that the United States got our oil from put an embargo on it. They raised the prices and blocked shipments to the United States. Here in the United States, gas prices raised tremendously, causing the government to put a rationing system in place. People with license plates ending in an odd number could only get gas on odd number days, and vice versa. Later in his term, Iran took hostages from the U.S. Embassy. President Carter exercised his ability as chief diplomat to negotiate with Iran, which eventually freed all the hostages. The actions he performed during his presidency led him to winning the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. James Earl Carter was the only president from Georgia. He started out as a peanut farmer, but ended up the 39th President of the United States. Along the way, he managed to accomplish many things. President Carter was a Navy soldier, but resigned due to his father passing, which led to him becoming a peanut farmer, a senator, a governor, and President of the United States. During President Carter's term, he managed to establish peace between two world leaders and negotiated with Iran, which led to American hostages being freed. Those actions later led him to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. From peanut farmer all the way to president, this is President Carter's life.
Congratulations to all of this year's winners. I can see that your talents, hard work, and dedication paid off. I cannot wait to see what you have in store next year for your amazing projects. But until then, I want to encourage you all to use those skills and talents to pursue your own journey of excellence. Hold tightly onto those unchanging principles that President Carter has taught us, and always do your best to make this world a better place by loving and helping others in your community. Thank you for joining us.